Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, and this is Chapter 5 in my journey of awakening. Now, to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you got to go through the darkness first. But thank God, I saw the light, and once I saw the light, it was the point of no return. Now, we're going to start this journey in the shadows. At this point, I'm a broken man. I have lost faith in myself. I have lost a connection with my purpose. And the reptilian assault on me was successful. Now, the intention of the reptilian consciousness is either to corrupt you and get you to join it, or to break you in a different way, to get you to identify heavily as a victim and feel sorry for yourself. So you're joining then on an unconscious level. So either to corrupt you and join on a conscious level where you choose, the way this world works, if I want to get ahead, I've got to manipulate. I have to basically kill or be killed. Or the other way is like, I'm not willing to become evil myself, but I feel like nothing is working out. I'm identifying with a victim. And at that point, that's where I was. I felt like everything that I needed, the things that I needed the most, the things that I wanted the most, I was incapable of generating and creating. I felt that I was completely at the mercy of outside forces and at the whims of whatever the outside world wanted to do with me. And I just got to a point where I was so low that I just did not want to be here. And there's part of my spirit that kept hanging on, just trying to get through. And at this point, this is when I got introduced to fake gurus, the YouTubers and the influencers who have videos that say, manifest anything you want in 5 easy steps, and these types of bullshit videos. And that fed me for a creative project in the future. But on a positive note, I was introduced to the work of David Icke. And initially, what drew me to David Icke was not conspiracy work, but it was basically what started him on the journey of what people know him as now. And what started him on that journey was an awakening in consciousness, an awareness that the spark of the infinite creator lies in you, in me, and in you. And when I saw a video by him that was, again, on this topic, just something resonated as true deep within my being. But still, I was not fully ready to embrace that. I still was identifying more as a victim. And eventually I got so low that I had nothing left to give. And even though I was putting everything that I knew that was in my awareness and my power to shift this, nothing was working out. And I was willing to, at this point, take myself offline and just leave the planet. And it was in this moment that angels showed up to me in human form. People who had the healing and nurturing medicine that my soul needed, and brought the reminder back of who I was and what my purpose was. I had a wonderful therapist who worked with me through EMDR that showed up at this time, and just other mentors that showed up that had patience for me and were able to hold a space for me for who I was as I was at that moment. And with their help and with my own practices, I was able to go back to a place to where I felt I was on path again. And again, what I realized, the magic word here, the key component, was sovereignty. I was at a place where I felt like I had no sovereignty, and I was starting to feel a connection to the sovereignty of my soul once again. And that's actually what started this YouTube channel. My early videos were really just a creative idea that I was going to put out there as simply an exercise in allowing my voice to show up as it wanted to create and put myself out there in the public sphere again, and not give a shit of the consequences of who's going to receive it and who's not. And it was something, again, that just started from that place, and I'm still going with it today. It's evolved into something different. But the importance of knowing that we are sovereign beings, we are creators, knowing that and feeling that and believing that on a deep cellular level, that was starting to happen in me, and that process was moving around. I would say this was around 2018. Now, that process of awakening, or reawakening in my case, kept going. And at 2020, I built a level of strength and knowing in my heart. So when the chaos of the outside world started to show up, I knew a lot of that was bullshit. And I knew what was being told by the corporate media outlets was in opposition of the higher purpose of the souls of humanity, and definitely my soul. So this was the great awakening for me. When I saw the direction that the world was going in and the way the power structures of the world were moving in, I knew I could no longer be a part of it. Doesn't mean I'm leaving. Again, I took the stance of being in the world, but not of the world, and not validating the world, not validating the matrix. So this was the time when I said, I'm leaving the matrix. I'm leaving the state of identifying as a victim of a matrix, and I'm never going back. Instead, I am stepping into my power as a co-creator. And this year I had ET contact. I had synchronicity show up in a way that they never have before. And I've also been challenged in ways that I've never been able to be challenged before. But this time, what's in me is a place of sovereignty. It's a place of honoring the truth that's within me, as opposed to my ego simply wanting to impress the outside world and get validation and approval from others to validate my existence. So once you taste that place of sovereignty and you faced criticism, you've faced people not liking you, people wanting to sabotage you, but you feel that, but the force inside of you is able to recognize it for what it is and keep going, then you are in a good place. And once you see things for as they are, you see the power structures, you see the way the reptilian consciousness works, know the end, and you see the journey, and you see how it manifests, how it shows up, then you know what to call out, you know what you're going to participate in, and then you know what to say no to. And that's ultimately what our sovereignty is. What am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to? And being very clear on that. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I'm not here to tell you what your journey is going to look like. I'm just sharing mine. But I know some of the basic elements that connected with me are going to connect with you too. And if this video is a light for you, may it shine on. But ultimately, may you find your own light and may that shine on. Class dismissed.